I see Saracen, Mufti, since some Christian holidays like Christmas, Valentine's, Halloween have become more secular and commercialized, partake in them. Yep, I've got, shukran, much love for the super chat. I've got a detailed, I've got an article actually on Facebook called Tinsel in a Tangle or something. I wrote it a few years ago, so I don't know if I'll be embarrassed of it now, but I'm sure the sentiment in it generally is still pretty much the same, that look, there is a difference of opinion on these matters. Okay, so there are some ulama who feel that anything associated with any religion and identity runs so deep that it is in direct conflict and clash with our faith. So to have it in any way means it is tantamount and equates to compromising your Islam and Iman. That is the high standard that they set for their Iman. And they're obviously coming from a place of deep honor and love for their Iman. And I admire that value. I admire their deep love for it. And there are many people, and they may even be the majority, whether, I don't know how we're going to count numbers, but many people, well, this is commonly found if you search online, this belief, and they will find things that say that, look, the Prophet, said, don't do anything like the mushrikeen, and so on and so forth. And there's that view. And if you follow that view, fine. If that's you and that helps you and that makes you a better person and that brings you bliss, then ahlan wa sahlan, and you're welcome to it. But don't impose it on somebody who believes something different. So there's another view that feels that no, that says that when things have become secularized, even if they hold religious origins, but because they have become secularized to a considerable extent, even whatever that extent is, whether it's a third or it's a half or it's whatever extent they've become secularized, they then no longer have a prohibition as long as your intention isn't obviously to worship. So this group of ulama, and there's several ulama, and I list them in that. I list many, and obviously not an exhaustive list. And this is the fatwa of Jami al-Azhar. This is the fatwa of many of the contemporary ulama. This is the fatwa of Sheikh Ali al-Jifri. This is the fatwa of, you'll get loads and many people that have said this. Sheikh Abdullah bin Bayya, you'll get many ulama that have said this today. Or the Grand Mufti. I list them in that article. So just as, I mean, not exhaustive, but just as some examples. So to them, they will say, well, look, when you look at the evidence, the Prophet ﷺ allowed certain practices that were not Islamic, that were pagan, but just because they had lost some of their values, like, for example, aqiqah, which is practiced today, was actually a pagan practice. The Rajabiyah, which we don't practice now, but in early Islam, the Muslims did practice it, but it was a pagan practice. The Atira, there was another practice as well. So even some have looked at even things like Safa and Marwa. I know many people may think Safa and Marwa was with from Ibrahim alayhi salam, but other people feel it wasn't. It was a pagan practice that had lost its value. And this is why in the Quran, when they're asked about Safa al Marwa, Allah does not mention Ibrahim. He just says that, look, whosoever does it today with a good value, فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ شَاكِرٌ عَلِيمٌ. So this group of ulama feel that, look, today things like Christmas, things like Halloween, things like, especially Halloween, but even Christmas or Valentine's Day or these things, some have more religious values than others at their core, and many religious people may also partake in them. But if you are obviously are not, you don't become a Christian, and you're not seeing it as a Christian thing, you're just living in a country where people, they see it as a festive season, and you partake. So you say, if somebody says Merry Christmas, you say Merry Christmas to you too. You're just saying it as an exchange of joy. So many ulama have said that is permissible. So Now there are two, like I said, whatever you follow is fine. If you follow this, then don't condemn those people. People who don't want to do it, don't say to them, what's wrong with you? Do it. You should be celebrating it. You should be doing this. No, let them be. It's each to their own. And those who don't want to do it, they shouldn't impose on others. You see, it's your faith. It's for you to practice. It's not about impose. They're following a different fatwa. That's fine. This is what the true challenge of Islam is: your connection with Allah, what you want to, what you should be staying away from. It's not about what should that person down the road be staying away from. It's your own. An ta'budullah ka'annaka tarahu. You worship Allah as though you can see him. If not, then he sees you. Not that he sees this person down the road. He sees you. So it's a very personal journey. So I hope that helps. Live and let live, people.